Hello fellow subscribers and any new viewers that may have come across my channel due to this video. My name is Dennis from Intellectual Reads, and today I decided to do a book tag. This will be my second tag video of my existence, as I don't normally do them. Also, it is very hard for me to do a video during the weekday, but today I had the day off. And browsing YouTube, I came across Brian's bookish channel where he did a second Tome books video. The video originated by the Hungry Bookworm. I also perused from Brian's description feed into another favorite channel of mine, which is the Big Hard Books and Classics, a channel ran by Alan and Alex Black Reads, another channel that I watch frequently. I will link their channels down below, and they all happened to do this tag within the week. So I thought I would specifically go and do this tag because majority of my books are purchased secondhand. The tag has 8 questions and I will try and address all 8, but I am, for the benefit of having a better conversation, I'm gonna flip one of the questions and bring it up sooner than it was intended to be answered, because I think it will make this video flow that much better. So the first question is, do you buy secondhand books? I would say that about 80% of my books are secondhand bought. I realize I have a huge advantage because I live in New York, and therefore, being in kind of the publishing capital of the world, you can find many books, a plethora of books. Given that I now have a large collections of books myself, I have extremely cut down on purchasing books in the last few years, and I am very picky about the books that I do obtain. So therefore, a lot of my books come secondhand. For the benefit of this video, I'm going to answer question 5 before I continue to go in order here. And question 5 is, do you have a favorite place you like to go to when looking for secondhand books? I will mention 2 stores that I mainly shop at. The first store that I shop at is Trans Books. They have a wide variety of books there. They have new and used books. I shop 2 areas in their stores mainly. Before I enter the store, there are carts outside where you can buy $1 books, $2 books, and $5 books, I believe. Anywhere between the range of $1 and $5. And I will usually peruse those carts to see if I can kind of spot some deals. Then I will walk the main floor and look at all the new books that have come out to see if anything I've seen on YouTube sparks my interest, especially signed editions. I like to see which books they have in signed edition form before making my way to the 3rd floor, which is the rare book room. There they have all kinds of old books, as well as out-of-date first editions and signatures from authors that are very hard to get, or either authors that are deceased. Those books are quite expensive, but I like to browse them and sometimes even purchase them. The other bookstore that I also shop at is the Housing Works. Housing Works secondhand bookstore has only books for sale that have been donated. They don't buy any books from you. You can't sell books to them. They solely run on donations. And I specifically like to go to that store on the first weekend of the month because everything at their store is at 30% off. And you could really spot some deals there, especially if you wanted a book that you've seen in the glass case that is $100 or more. Getting 30% off a large shopping spree or even an expensive book is definitely a deal. So I love to get in there as soon as I can on a Saturday morning before everything has been sort of looked through by other people, and try and see if I can spot some deals. Now back to your regular programming, and we will proceed with questions in order. 2. What was your latest purchase? What did I last buy? Okay, I know. My last purchase was actually only 2 books. This was at the Strand's Rare Book Room that I remember, and they were all first editions. Oh, it's only 2 books, but I will show them right now. So the first book that I purchased out of the 2 is the Luminaries. I have not read this book. Usually what I like to do is read new books from the library, and then if I really like them, I will purchase first editions of them to keep for life. And if I don't, then so be it. I find that it helps me not to attain too many books, while at the same time the books that I do have become that much more valuable and in that much more pristine shape. So this book is the Luminaries. I don't know if you guys can see the sticker here, but it says the Rare Room from Strands, and it cost me $40. $40. It's not actually first edition. It's later printing, and it's been inscribed. So this was to Stephanie with very best wishes by Eleanor Catton, and I am not Stephanie, but I still wanted to get it because I heard so much about this book, and I am really looking forward to reading it. And since I read my books at work, at home, and especially a tome like this, which I am planning to read for Book Mammoth in March, I will probably end up getting a copy at the library and keeping this book on my shelf. But I wanted to have it. I don't know why, but I have a feeling I'm going to really like it. And the second book that I made on that purchase was another kind of newer book, and that's The Ladder to the Sky by John Boyne. I know this won the BookTube prize, I believe, and I've heard a lot of people speak about it and in high regard. So when I came across it, it wasn't too expensive. It was only like 35 bucks. I don't know if you guys can see that. But it is the first American edition signed by Boyne. So it has his signature here. It's the first edition, and originally when this book came out it was at $27, so I only technically overpaid by $7, which to me is worth it, considering that if I do like this book, this is a first edition signed copy of it, and I will be glad to keep it for a while. I think I'm defeating the purpose of this questionnaire by bringing in signed books, but this is how I purchase my secondhand books, and sometimes they're gems and sometimes they're not, so stay tuned. Question number 3: what condition do you find acceptable, tatty or not tatty, etc.? So I think this is very relative to the price point we're talking at. I have many books that I've found to be complete gems, which were in pristine conditions, and especially they are going to be kind of the modern books. I like to attain them in pristine condition, and especially they could be hardcovers. But then again, if I'm going to find a book for say $1 or 50 cents, I'm not going to be too picky with the condition, especially if they're books that are sort of out of print or hard to find, and they kind of pique my interest. Then I'm going to be impartial to their look, and I will show you a couple of examples. So I bought this book for $1. It is La Chance de Maldoror, and this book looked really weird. It has the front cover already falling off, so and when I read on the back of it, it is translated by Guy Wernham. It says, "This macabre but beautiful work has achieved a considerable reputation as one of the earliest and most extraordinary examples of surrealist writing." So again, it was a book. I don't know where I would find this book or if I would ever come across of it, but it piqued my interest and I thought I would give it a chance. I have not read it yet. I think I purchased this over 2 years ago, but the fact that it was so beat up, as you can see, did not in any way dissuade me from buying it. Then I also love D.H. Lawrence, and such a little paperback copy for $1. Again, it's yellowed out, but it's actually not in bad condition. But you know, beggars can't be choosers when it comes to $1 books. And then I have a Gabriel Garcia Marquez, which was $3. So again, it's not the best book, but I kind of want to get into Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I have not read anything by him, and it piqued my interest. So I think in all kind of certainty, I could say that I am apt to give books a shot that are $1 and beat up because either A, they're hard to find and I don't come across them very often, so I scoop them up. And the second reason is that if I do like it enough, I will, you know, put out the money and find myself a nicer copy later on in time. As well as the third reason for getting beat up books is I have no remorse when I beat them up further and they start falling apart on me at work, and I'm not damaging any book of high quality or pristine condition that either I have spent a lot of money on myself or somebody else has taken time to show that book love and keep it in safe protection and out of harm's way. So I don't want to, you know, you have to treasure things you keep, and when books are at the end of their life and are cheap, then you feel less remorse for beating them up. So now that we answered question 5 at the beginning of the video, I will go to question 6. Hardback or paperback? Do you have a preference? Obviously I would prefer a hardback, but if a paperback, many books only come out in paperbacks, they've never been out in hardback, and unless I really want something and it's reasonably priced, I have a lot of books that are paperbacks and it does not bother me whatsoever. Have you found any real gems? Now this is kind of the interesting question, the one that piqued my interest the most at this video. So I thought I would show you some gems. Again, it depends on the price point when you consider gems. So I purchased this book for $1, and I'll tell you a little more about it. This is sort of, if it's not, alright, it's going to cover my face, but I will talk through it. This is the Conrad Argosy, and it was published by Garden City in 1942, and so it has numerous, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It has 14 of his novels in it. The novels come with pictures within the text, and as I stated before, I'm really trying to get into Conrad because the one book that I read by him I really loved, and so this is kind of like an old book for $1, that I can reminisce about reading in my home. This isn't a book that I would ever take out with me, but it kind of puts all of his work into one large tome that I can take my time getting through, and it keeps everything in one place and lets me know my progress as I'm getting through his major works. Now I will show you another old book in terms of gems. I bought this book for $10, and it is as is. Actually, I bought it for $7 because I had 30% off, as I spoke earlier. And this is the Friendship Offerings. So this book is really beat up, like you can tell by the cover and everything. But the thing that piqued my interest about this book, at one time it was $50. I don't know if you can see that, probably not, as I am ruining the cover and it's hopefully doesn't fall off. But this book was published in London by Smith, Elder and Company, 65 Cornhill, in 1831. And it's Friendship's Offering, a literary album, and Christmas and New Year present for MDCCXI. So it says, this is affectionate tribute friendship offering, this text is really small, with silent eloquence more rich than words, tells of the giver's faith and truth in absence, and says, forget me not. And then it says, to the Queen's most gracious majesty, this volume is by permission most respectfully inscribed. And so this book is it has poems in it, it has short stories in it, and it's just a little gem that I've not yet gotten to, but you know, it's kind of a nice little find. It's from 1830s, and so a book that's, you know, in a decade will be 200 years old for $10. It's a little gem that I can come back and forth between. Oh my god, everybody's tag video is like 5 minutes, and this seems like it's going to be really, really fucking long. Now, in terms of newer finds, I will show you two books that I consider gems. So I bought this signed first edition copy of The Lost Archive after Mark Nash raved about it, and it was making the rounds last year. I paid $27.95 for it on the main floor. A month later, I came back to Shrans, and I found this Lost Children Archive by Valeria Luiselli, also in first edition. It's not signed because I think they get a limited number of copies signed at Strands. And it was only $2. So literally about 3 months after it was published, I had found it at one of the bookstalls for $2 in pristine condition, hardcover, not a scratch on it, not a mark on it. So I considered this to be a find when I'm talking about paying $25 less for a book, and it's in identical condition, just doesn't have the signature. Another find I will mention is this Donna Tartt book. I've not read Donna Tartt yet. I have the Goldfinch and I have this one, which is The Secret History. It's also I don't know if it's a first edition, but it is the hardcover, and it only cost me $2. And it's published September 16, 1992. Second printing before publication. So I don't know if this is an ARC that came out before the book was published or what, but I had to scoop it out for that price. And I need to really get into Donna Tartt. I'm just completely missing the fucking boat. Optional. Last question. Optional. Find a book from your shelves that you could donate to a good cause to your local charity or Goodwill shops. Next time I decide to donate them, I always donate them to Housing Works. These would be some of the books that would go in the donation box and delivered to that store. Anton Chekhov, we have Daily Rituals, Joan, Didion, South and West, book I liked, but not enough. I have mixed reactions on it actually. I think this is one of the books that I think about most, and actually one of the books that inspires me to write my own fiction. But at the same time, I'm not sure that I liked her writing style. And then we have Stephen King on writing here. Another book I really enjoyed, but wouldn't mind giving back. So I have numerous books that I donate ever so often back, and this keeps my shelves clean. So these are just some of those books that I like to give back once I have finished them. I don't know when that shelf gets full, but when it does, it's all going in a box and going to the store. So go ahead and tag some people. Whoever watches this channel and wants to do this tag, please feel yourself tagged. But I will mention one person who I would love to do this tag, and I'm going to specifically tag him. So Matthew at Mayberry Book Club, please, would you consider doing this tag? Anyway guys, have a good one. Enjoy your week, and I hope you were entertained.